have fun staying poor. Have fun staying poor. You're never going to make it. I don't care. Because if you can't look at your Instagram and think, you know what, maybe I should get into shape. If you can't look at my Instagram and think, you know what, maybe I should make some money. And you literally, with all the inspiration shoved in your face nowadays, I mean, you were sitting in this luxury apartment in Dubai overlooking the ocean. Oh no, I don't even know what day is it. What day is it? What day it is?
Sunday.
On a Sunday afternoon. Like, this is what we do. If you can't watch people like us, if you're watching this podcast and think I need to do something and you're a procrastinator, good. I don't care. Have fun staying broke. Because like you said, I need someone to wash my cars. I need people like you. So not everyone can make it to the top, and there's no help for those people who can't motivate themselves. If you can't pay your bills, you know, it's hard to pay your rent, you're eating the crappiest food, you're driving the crappiest car, all the beautiful women in the world don't look at you, you can't afford any nice clothing, and you're sitting around thinking, oh, well, you know, just a few more hours playing Fortnite, then that's your station in life, and enjoy it. You know, I'm not really one to feel sorry for people that much because of the way that the internet has changed the world. I believe that people have positive role models and examples thrown in their face all the time. I feel like to sit back and say, oh, well, you know, I'm just a video game porn addicted playing, you know, guy with no muscles and no physique and no physicality. Oh, well, it's because I haven't got a positive role model. I feel like today isn't an excuse. I feel like that every single second that you're scrolling on your phone or looking at Instagram, etc., there are dudes out there, you know, even so much as selling little coaching calls or courses, or, you know, who you'd want to be like. But it's easy. It's easier to sit around and play video games and masturbate than it is to get the money to buy real supercars and seduce beautiful women in the real world. It is much easier. And because it's easier, I feel like a lot of people don't want a way out. So I don't need to give them advice. I feel like the advice is out there. If you're watching this and that describes you, good. At least you're listening to people with a healthy mindset who maybe can inspire you a little bit to try to be like that. But the type of person who really needs this advice and isn't going to get it is never going to watch this podcast. They're not going to look at the photo of you there with your shoulders, etc., standing next to me with all my whatever car I'm next to, and think, I'm going to listen to these two. So those people aren't watching. So we don't need to worry about them, you know? Just let them, you know, flip our burgers and cook our meals. Well, yeah, it's the old saying of, you know, you become the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. That's older than the internet. That saying, it predates the internet. But essentially it means the 5 people who influence you the most. And, you know, if you do live alone, or if you don't have many friends, or you don't have a big group of people, what you're watching and what you're listening to influences you massively. So yeah, cut the crap out. Exactly the same with a healthy diet. It influences your health. A healthy mind is exactly the same thing. Scrolling up and down Netflix, watching trash all day is not going to get you anywhere, literally, ever. Whereas, you know, you might hear a piece of advice in a podcast, in this podcast, that, you know, makes you wake up and think, you know what, I actually need to get my shit in order. So yeah, be careful what influences you. Well, my dad dying was the hardest part for me and Andrew to go through ever. But what you have to understand with things like that is you don't actually have a choice. People say this all the time, like, how did you deal with that? It's like, well, what was my alternative? Bring him back to life? There is no way out of it. So you can either, and people say this all the time, oh, my mother's got cancer, she's going to die in 6 months. What do? I say, enjoy the next 6 months with her. As much, like, there are lots of situations in life where your hands are tied. So with dad dying, it was a simple matter of, okay, you can let this destroy you, which is an option, and people do this all the time, drink themselves to death, I don't know, start cutting themselves, whatever stuff people do to cope with difficult situations. Or you can be sad anyway, because you're sad either way, and work 18 hours a day. And in fact, I said that the time I was working the most, when I was around 27, 28, I think he died when I was 27. So you can work 18 hours a day, not let anything distract you, and stay focused on the mission, so that way you have less time to think about it, and you could be sad while you're working. And then, you know, when you start to come to terms with everything, you've got millions of dollars, as opposed to, oh, I've come to terms with everything, but I'm in a rehab clinic. So I think that bad things are going to happen to your life. And everyone watching, this is the sad truth of it. Your parents are going to die too. Before you. I mean, most of you. So that is going to happen. So I didn't really see why it was difficult. As much as it was unpleasant, I don't think it was difficult because there isn't a way out of it. So it's the best way I can describe it. You could be a sad winner or a sad loser. So go and win every day. I don't think I found my purpose in life until I was 32. So I feel like my purpose in life now is to set a good example for young men in a world that doesn't have any good examples. But I don't think everyone is going to reach that level of enlightenment with their mission. And I don't think everyone should, because when I was 28, when I was 29, I was very happy. I was perfectly happy, having not found what my purpose in life is. And you know what? I may think I know my purpose in life now. When I'm 40, I may realize it was actually something else and find something else. No, I don't believe life has to be a purpose. I just believe in making sure that you are happy and making sure that that happiness is spread as much as possible to the people you interact with and the people around you. That is a way to live a fulfilling life. You don't have to have a mission to live a fulfilling life, or a purpose. You know, you could live, you know, basically by yourself your whole life. But if you really enjoy yourself and you really enjoy this trip around the sun that we're all taking, and everywhere you go, you're polite and you're nice and you're kind, who cares that you didn't impact the world? You know, you don't need a purpose. You know, this is going to sound so arrogant, and people always tell me this. I don't have any fears. I don't have any irrational fears. I mean, like, I'm not afraid of these things, but like, you could obviously say, oh, I don't want my mom to die. I don't want my brother to die. But these aren't fears. I don't live every day thinking these things are going to happen. If you mean what am I actually scared of, like spiders, snakes, nothing. I don't swim in oceans. Not necessarily because I'm scared, because I could swim in an ocean. I could get in the water there and swim over to the Ferris wheel, no problem. I just prefer not to. I don't skydive, not because I have a fear of heights, because I prefer not to. I will not fly in a helicopter, not because I'm scared of helicopters. I just prefer not to. So I do make some calculated decisions of what I'm comfortable doing and what I'm not comfortable doing, because I don't see any benefit. I don't see how my life would get better if I jumped out of an airplane with a parachute. I don't see how it would get better. It can't get better. But no, I don't have any fears. I don't have any irrational fears or fears of anything. I believe that if you get to my age and you have kept a very clean reputation for yourself, then that's a very difficult thing to do, because people are always looking to tear you down. People are always looking to cheat me, in which case they may speak bad about me. But whatever it is, I have friends in Dubai who I trust very much. And when I get approached by certain people, hi, my name's this, I'm from this certain family, I'd like to meet and talk to you. I literally run the names by my friends who've lived in Dubai for many years and understand this region of the world and know who everyone is. And I say, are these people trustworthy or not? And my friends are very trustworthy because I've known them for many, many years and curated my friendship group by cutting people out and, you know, keeping the high value people inside as well. So I don't do business with many people, but I have a second vote. Me and my brother both have to agree that somebody's trustworthy, that we both want to do something. Otherwise it doesn't happen. So there's always a debate on somebody and somebody's character. I said, I'm going to do Mike's podcast today. Andrew said, nah, not Mike. He's the guy's the guy's a piece of, no, I'm kidding. But and whatever I'm doing, we always run the ideas past each other. So there's an extra layer of check built in to my life. So I feel like that's very important as well. So if you have friends you trust, even if they don't know this person personally, you know, run the idea past them. Explain how you met the guy, how you got in contact with him, who he is, and, you know, let your friends give you another opinion. If you don't know what to do, don't go to university. Yeah. That's the first thing. If you know what you want to do and you need a university degree to do it, then obviously pursue that. If you don't know what you want to do, going to university is going to burn 3 or 4 years of your time and likely get you into a bunch of debt and a bunch of trouble that you don't need. If you don't know what you're doing, avoid university. Step number 1. 2, don't waste time on frivolous pursuits. Stop trying to live like the man unless you've actually become the man first. And that means women. Stop trying to get laid all the time and get beautiful women. Because if you are a nobody, the time and effort it's going to take into convincing a really beautiful woman to go to bed with you is much less time than it would take me or Mike, because we are a somebody already. So you're burning your hours. Don't chase women too much. Don't chase having fun too much. Don't chase clout too much. Don't try to be seen in cool places that you can't actually afford to be in. You know, Dubai is actually a very interesting example of this. I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here, but that's all good advice. It's simple. Dubai is a very good example of this because Dubai is a place where people can look like they're doing something big when they're doing absolutely nothing at all. There are hotels in Dubai, like the hotels I stay at, that are 1, 2, 3 grand a day, 10 grand a day. They do exist. And there are also hotels in Dubai up near the old town where, you know, the laborers and the workers stay that cost $35, $40, $50 a day. That does happen. You could fly to Dubai, and people do this. Men do this with no money because men don't have the ability to just, you know, hit dating apps in Dubai and live the good life. They come to Dubai with their friends. They have no money in their pockets. They have a nice shirt that they'll wear, fine. And they'll take a taxi from their really cheap hotel down to downtown, picture in front of the Burj Khalifa, click, picture in front of a Lamborghini, click. Now they're a guy with a picture in front of a Lamborghini in Dubai. They're a guy who hangs out in Dubai now. He's at the Burj Khalifa. He makes less than $1,000 a month, probably. You know, people do this. They literally clout chase based on location. And that is the biggest waste of time that I've ever heard of. You know, go on a vacation within your budget and have fun with your friends, by all means, and take your mind off trying to be somebody. But yeah, people pretend too hard today. And the effort it takes to pretend short term will make you look richer or cooler or more successful than you are. But if you take all the time that you spend pretending and actually invest it into trying to become what you're pretending to be, you'll get there. But it will take, again, 3, 4, 5 years, and people don't want to do it.